By the end of this video, you're going to walk away with an easy to follow, actionable strategy that you can implement today in order to market your service-based business. My name is Armando and I help small business owners use the internet so they can get more leads and make more sales. And if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future content. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that most people make when it comes to marketing a service-based business is that they are overcomplicating the entire process. You see, marketing a service-based business is completely different than marketing a brick and mortar business or a business where you sell products on the internet or you have a e-commerce store. They're completely separate things. In a service-based business, typically people are making a decision to buy because of who you are. They're looking for that like, that know, and that trust factor. So in order for this strategy to work for your local business, you have to understand that you have to keep things simple. And in order to do this, you're going to focus on just 3 things. Step number 1 is going to be reaching more people. Step number 2 is making more offers to those people. And step number 3, reaching those people at the right time. Because when you're able to reach the right people at the right time with the right offer, you're going to end up with a conversion. Now, the medium that we're going to be using to implement this entire strategy is going to be Facebook. Because with Facebook having the largest footprint and the most amount of users, you're literally able to reach almost anyone on the planet between Facebook and Instagram. So the very first thing that you're going to do in order to kick off this strategy is to gather your contact. In a service-based business, you're going to have either videos or images of yourself or you doing the work. Let's say that, for example, you are into the power washing space. A good image or a good creative to have in this space is a cell phone video of you power washing a driveway or a sidewalk where you can see it physically get cleaner as you do the job. Same thing for painting a house, same thing for mowing the lawn, same thing for any service type business. If you can show what the before and what the after is, and not necessarily in a picture comparison, but a small video clip, then you'll be able to sell much more. Once you have the actual creative done, which most small business owners I find have cell phone footage of themselves or the work that they've done laying around somewhere, the second thing that you have to do is the actual copy of the ad. Now, you don't have to be an expert copywriter, you don't have to have a marketing degree, and you don't have to have fancy gear in order to implement and execute this strategy. Here's what you need to include on your ad copy in order to make it work. Number 1, you're going to tell people what you have and what that thing can do for them. Number 2, you're going to tell people what they need to do to get it. And then number 3, you're going to tell them how they go about getting that thing. Now, if you add those 3 things in your ad copy, you're going to knock it out of the park. Here's an example of one right here that we did for a client. Now, once you have that, you have a good offer, you have creative, and your copy tells exactly what people are going to get, what the benefit is going to be for them, and what they need to do to get it. The last step is to get this in front of as many people as you possibly can in your local area. And to do this, you're going to use the power of Facebook ads. But again, keep in mind, we want simplicity. We do not want to overcomplicate anything. In the real world, offline, what happens with any business owner, any service-based business, is really that you're having a conversation with somebody. They typically ask you what you do. Maybe something comes up in conversation and you tell them about your services and your product. And by that time, they've already liked you. So what happens next is that typically there's an exchange of phone number or an exchange of a quote or something. And then you guys go back and forth and have an additional conversation. And if they like you, if the economics work, then they end up doing business with you. That's the same thing that we're going to do on the internet. So with the final step, all you're going to do is run an ad. And I don't want you to focus on creating funnels and creating fancy websites and web pixels and all this other stuff. The objective that you're going to choose for running this Facebook ad is a lead generation ad. And here's the reason why. Lead generation allows you to create your ad without having to have a website, without having to have a fancy landing page, without having to have any of that other tech stuff that it's going to get in the way. We just simply want to reach more people with our offer and start a conversation. Once you select lead generation, from the objective, you're then going to go to a section where you're allowed to put in your demographic, your Facebook targeting. This is where most of your customers are likely to hang out. Now, I'm going to give you a big tip here. Do not overcomplicate the process. If you're a small business owner, specifically a service-based business, your customers are probably within a 10-mile radius of the service area that you cover. Maybe you are in a city like Houston, for example, like where I'm at, and you want to service a city that's right outside of Houston. Then your targeting is going to be the city right outside of Houston. The cool thing about using Facebook is that you can literally target people by zip code, you can target people by neighborhoods, you can target people by city DMA, you can target people by excluding certain zip codes. So do not overcomplicate things. Simply plug in this section here, the zip code or the area that you want to work in, and then that just pops up. What this is going to allow you to do is allow your message, your ad, your creative, and your copy, your offer to actually show up to only those people within the area that you are typically servicing. The other thing that you need to do here is actually pick how much money you're going to spend. And this is kind of a bit of a tricky question because people always ask, how much should I spend on my Facebook ads? And the truth is, it really depends. If you have an ad that's actually performing and it's doing well and you can handle the business and you spent $1 and get $4 out of that ad, the question isn't going to be how much you need to spend. The question is going to be, how long can I keep this running before it doesn't work anymore? So start small. $5-10 a day is all you need for a local service-based business. And then gauge, let the data come back and tell you what that cost per lead is. And if the cost per lead is really good, then you're good. Just continue spending whatever your budget allows. Now I'm going to give you an example of this. Let's say that you are in the power washing space and you know that every power washing driveway you charge $400. And out of those $400, $300 are profit. And every lead that comes in costs you $10, but it takes you 4 leads. That means you have to talk to 4 people before you close one. Then every client that you acquire is technically $40. Now, would you spend $40 to make $400? If the answer is yes, then the cost per lead is favorable for you. If the answer is no, then you go back to the drawing board and you see how you can better improve your numbers. So don't overcomplicate anything. The lead ad is going to allow you to create your ad within Facebook without having to have a complicated process. Now, once you select your targeting and your budget, the next step is actually creating the ad. Take the copy that I just mentioned, tell people what they want, what your stuff is, what it's gonna do for them, and what they need to do to get it. Take your actual video, plug it in this area here where you create the ad, and then all you're doing is creating a form. Like in this form section here, Facebook allows you to ask for people's name, their phone number, their email address, and even a few custom questions that you might need for custom quotes or anything like that. Now, once people open this, they're gonna send you that information, and from there, they enter your sales process. Once people enter your sales process, you do what it is that you need to do. You call them back, you text message them, you email them, you follow up like you normally would, and then you close the deal. Now, for those of you who want to dive in a little bit deeper and want me to break this down step by step and need more of the hand holding, I do have a mini workshop that you can consume in like 45 minutes. You can check that out with the link in the description or go to localleadmastery.com. What happens next is that Facebook then puts these leads inside of their custom lead management center. It's like a CRM for Facebook, and you can work the leads. You can check them on your cell phone. You can text message people back. And in fact, you can even set up automation so that you get automatic text messages every time a lead comes through. Now, don't overcomplicate the process. That's the big takeaway from here. Now, I'm going to show you some examples of some lead ads that we've ran for some of our clients that are doing really well with simple video that doesn't need to be complicated. Here's one right here where we generated over 500 leads just in 1 month for a local moving company. Now, the cool thing about this strategy is that it really works across any service industry. It doesn't have to be complicated. So just to recap the entire thing, keep things simple, get the right message in front of the right person at the right time. And you can do that with a simple Facebook ad. You can do that using video. I've given you the framework for copy. I told you the type of images or videos that you need to use. And just go out there, generate some conversations, have a good time, let people know that you are a human behind your company, that you are selling the service, and that it's you. And if you like this video and it was helpful, consider subscribing. And if you need more help with this, you can check out the link in the description, or you can go to localleadmastery.com and check out the full workshop.